Greetings, dear brothers and sisters, dear sons and daughters in the light. I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. And how wonderful it is that we are able to speak to you like this. For whenever you sit here with us, you are here healing in divine spaces. You are listening to the truth, the way and the higher road to freedom, to understanding your deeper purpose in all of life, to understanding why you are here upon this earth. For all is about learning to live with deeper flows, knowledge, and most of all, deeper love within yourself. I, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, am here from very high divine spaces to take you on a new journey, a journey within yourself. I am here with my designated channel, Suzanna Maria Emmanuel, and I will not work with anyone else at this time. And she is the designated channel, the Ascension channel, and she has always been my designated channel. So hence I will only work with a channel that has been designated to do the Ascension work. We are here to take you deeper into the dimensions of flow and harmony. And this is what Ascension is. It's to take you deeper into the flows of love and knowledge. For you are here to heal yourselves and your deeper journeys. You are here to awaken to higher love rays. You are here to see yourself as a divine being and to join your divine self and to stand with one purpose, to create love and harmony upon this plane. So if you were going to ask my being, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, why are you here, Lord, at this time? I would answer you in the following way. I, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, am part of all that is divine, for I am that divine being that spoke through Jesus, my channel, 2,000 years ago. I promised I would return to free mankind to higher glory and higher ways of truth. And when divine says something, it always keeps its promise. I am here to set you free from all your limitation and your anger and your pain. I'm here to send you off to a higher road of deeper purpose and higher understanding, the road that leads to the spiritual mountain, to take you deeper into the flows of higher existence. I am here to heal your deeper levels. I'm here to help you celebrate your lives. I'm here to help you become that new creation that glorifies each other and glorifies itself. That is my greater purpose, the Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, for humanity. And here humanity is very important on the higher ascension levels. If you've been listening to Chiron speaking about the importance of humanity, then you understand that you are here to play the game of Ascension. And Ascension here is not about the singular journey, and you must learn to understand that. It is about learning to heal as a collective, together, and together you open the doors to the higher mountain of treasures. You see before you a greater talent to collect, and talents in the olden times were very, very valuable, for each talent held an incredible amount of value. And often the masters of the slaves would tell the slaves to go and get the talents. so that the masters could become richer and wiser and more knowledgeable. You are not the slaves, however I am the master, and Chiron is the great aligner. And we are here saying to our most beautiful people upon the earth, look, the mountain is filled with talents. Go and collect the talents, not to give them to us, but to give them to yourselves. Go and find the deeper treasures within yourself. Go and find the deeper ways of setting yourselves free. Go and understand how great you are within you, and understand the deeper purpose that you hold. For all is divine, and you're part of my being, and you're part of all that is divine. For no one is separated, and you should never judge one another, saying, you should do this and you should do that. For then we say, go and look in the mirror, dear ones, and go and see where it is that you can be growing, for all is a reflection of self. So if you see someone else needing to grow, then also see yourself needing to grow, and love that other person even more, for you will learn to love yourself greater. Why? Because you are here on a journey to deeper collective love. And collectively you are strong beings. You hold the sacred secrets within you. You hold sacred treasures. And these sacred treasures have been a part of you for many, many thousands and thousands of years. And they were never to come to the surface, for it was not the time to show the greatness of mankind. However, now it is the time for the great sun consciousness to shine upon your faces once again. So here it is about resurrecting the gifts within you. These gifts have always been buried very deeply within you. They are here to help you understand the great divinity that you are. But you must learn to listen with your most beautiful ears, because many people do not listen to divine truth. And they keep carrying on as if we don't exist. Yet I, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, say, please stop denying us and understand that this time is so important. Otherwise you miss the boat. And the boat is not one to go on, not to the other side. You want the road, the boat to the higher dimensions, do you not? Imagine if we sent a boat to you, a boat, and we called you all up and said, this is the boat to the great treasures within you. How many would see the boat? At this time, very little. And yet many people will begin to see the boat. And it is vital that you begin to see it. All the scriptures have always pointed to a time when we would awaken you to your deeper flows and gifts. I said a long time ago, through my channel Jesus to the people, look, a time will come when the sun will shine on the faces of man, and they will see the glory rising within themselves. And they will say, look, the Lord is shining on our faces once again. The Lord has arrived, and it is time to stand in our strength and our awakening heart. But how many people would be awake to the return of the great Lord? For so many programs were placed into being to remove you away from the thought that the great Lord ever existed. For so many people believe that my channel Jesus was the great Lord and that he was to be worshipped. And yet, as I've stated many times in these teachings before, he was not to be worshipped, and he never claimed to be anything greater than a channel. He was the most incredibly humble man. He never spoke before divine will, for he always said, "Look to the Father who is in the great heavens, and he will always show you the way." He never claimed to be the way. However, I said through my channel, I am the way. I am life. I am the life. I am the freedom. No one can get to the Father except through my being. Who is the Father? It is my own being. And the great Father is the great divine. And I am part of that great divine. I am that great divine. Great divine separated a part of itself, which is the same being, to create a divine path for beings to come to the greater light, to understand divine truth, for it itself is so explosive in power. It is so incredibly high in energy that that divine being could not connect to any life. So it needed to separate a small part of itself to become the great messenger, even though that being was no less than the great divine, because it was the same. You are here to understand great transformation, and hence the people understood in those days, in the days of Jesus, that it was not Jesus to be worshipped. Many people did not even enjoy Jesus. Their thought from worshipping Jesus was far away. They did not want to worship him. They wanted to kill him. They wanted to hate him. He was not a loved man except by his followers. The majority of people didn't want Jesus, and they refused to listen to him. You have these most beautiful ideas in your mind that Jesus was the greatest man ever, one of them, that he was to be worshipped. Yet, if you met Jesus today, you wouldn't even recognize Jesus from the man that you think he was, because Jesus was just a man, a very humble man, who never spoke out of turn, who always looked up to the heavens and said, "Father, glorify the people, for they are not willing to listen in their hearts. Please give them more love and wisdom, so that they may follow your deeper guidance." This was Jesus. He's worshipped in all the churches. And that was the plan of the darkness, to keep truth away from the people, because they knew that the divine Lord would return with a great channel. And so they created these most beautiful stories of a worship, of deity, of divinity, to confuse the people, so that when that channel rose with the great divine Lord, people would refuse to listen. Was this really the same as when Jesus was alive? And no, the people refused to listen there too. Jesus was a very frustrated, with all things then. And the news of the great Lord spread so slowly. Here too upon your earth, the news of the great Lord returning spreads ever so slowly, and most are deaf to hearing the news. Yet you must learn to listen, otherwise you miss the boat to the great mountains of gifts, because there is only one way. And even Jesus channeled this through. Look, he said, there's only one way, one path to the higher mountains of freedom. The road is very narrow, and narrow means difficult. It is not a popular path, for this is not a path that everyone desires to travel upon, and yet it is the path of the deepest happiness. For those who travel this path will find their freedom, will find their happiness. Happy is the one who stays humble and who opens their heart to divine truth. For it is the one that is willing to open the ears to the great Father speaking, that receives knowledge within, that becomes great. For that one is great in the eyes of the Father. That one may not be great in the eyes of the people, for the people are very judgmental. They will say, get away from us. You don't listen to us. You listen to the great Father, so you claim him to be. We say we do not know the great Father. We will spit at the Father's name. Go away. However, those ones that follow the narrow path, the small path, will become so strong and find all the riches and the glories of the kingdom. The ones on the wider path will find it so easy to walk upon that path. Oh, there are many people who walk upon that path. That path is so easy to walk upon. They have many friends upon that path. And because those people are weaker in the mind, they keep following each other, not listening to their heart. Well, their heart says, go on the smaller road. Go on that narrow road. On this road, on the wider road, people do not find their greater happiness. They do not find their greater kingdom within themselves. And they keep living like that, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Begin to wake up and understand that the road to true power does not lie in the numbers, but in your heart. For your heart speaks truth, and your heart is a road of narrowness. And that narrow road leads to your eternal freedom from all pain, and it gives you deep happiness and fulfillment. So the people back then understood the two roads, though it needed to be defined more. For they thought that Jesus spoke in literal terms. However, Jesus never spoke in literal terms. He spoke in symbology. He always spoke with symbols. The narrow road was the spiritual road. The spiritual road is not well seen, and it is not well acknowledged. But this deeper spiritual road leads to your greater talents, your greater gifts. And when you receive those greater gifts, you become happier, you become more joyful, This is when you truly ascend into deeper power and love. Those people will be set free and always looked after by the divine. For the higher you climb upon that road, the more protection you will have, and the more beauty you will gain. For all things are beautiful on the higher road. The ones who are walking on the other road are the ones that keep going on the treadmill of pain and insecurity and fear and anger. The ones who are standing on the narrow road, they are finding their security with the great angels who are always guarding them. And when they place their trust in the angels, they know that all things are coming right. And these are the same teachings as Jesus channeled through 2,000 years ago. And again, I'm proving it to you that I am the same divine Lord. So what is it that you can do at this time to gain the greater knowledge, to gain the greater wisdom? Well, I, as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, will say, join the divine healings that are happening at this time. And those are the divine pineal gland activations with Chiron and his light grid programmer, which is my designated channel, Suzanna Maria Emmanuel. Because those healings bring you up into the greater talents, into the greater mountain of divine love. And they truly help you to step onto that most beautiful, narrow road that is not popular by the great numbers. However, it gives you that deeper purpose and the deeper understanding how all things can become more of love and divine wisdom. For this is now your journey. It is not your journey anymore, how to discover pain and suffering and fear. Now your journey is to find the road of freedom, of love and light. You are here to find the way to the higher dimensions. That is your higher journey. And many people say all things, as you know. But I, as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, will say the same thing as I said through Jesus 2,000 years ago. There is only one road upwards, and that is through my being. And Chiron works with my being to bring everything into perfection, for it is divine, and there is no other way to bring through the greater love for you are already perfect. On the higher levels, you work in perfect union with divine will. On the lower levels, you need to learn to step into divine will and into divine alignment. So how about you get onto that boat to go to the higher realms of alignment, and then the great sun consciousness will shine on your face, and you will say, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, Great Lord, you have returned to us. And I shall say to you, greetings, I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great.